Imagine that every week you eat fish, thinking you are taking care of yourself, and yet, without knowing it, you may be putting one of the most dangerous foods for your health after 60 on your plate. This is not an exaggeration. According to studies published in serious medical journals, certain fish that millions of seniors eat every week can silently damage their brain, weaken their heart, and accelerate their aging. While other fish, often lesser known, can on the contrary protect memory, reduce joint pain, and slow age-related decline. Tonight, I'm going to reveal the 4 fish to absolutely avoid after 60, and the 4 fish you should eat regularly to stay strong, sharp, and independent. Tell me in the comments, which fish do you eat most often right now? I read all your messages. Your answer might surprise you after this video. The first dangerous fish on our list is going to surprise you, because it has had an excellent reputation for decades: tuna. This fish that millions of people eat several times a week, often canned, often out of habit, often because they think they are making a healthy choice. Tuna, especially the larger varieties like albacore or big-eye tuna, is one of the most mercury-contaminated fish, because tuna is a large predator that lives a long time. With every fish it eats, it absorbs some of the mercury contained in its prey. This mercury accumulates year after year in its muscles. This is what is called bioaccumulation. When you eat this tuna, mercury enters your body. It does not eliminate easily. It deposits in your tissues, in your brain, in your nervous system, and it acts silently, like a slow-acting poison. After 60, the liver and kidneys work more slowly. The body eliminates toxins less efficiently. Mercury therefore accumulates much more quickly than in a young adult. The consequences are serious. Memory problems, confusion, unexplained mood swings, tremors, numbness, symptoms that many seniors attribute to age, when their plate is sometimes directly responsible. The heart is also affected. Mercury can disrupt heart rhythm and increase the risk of stroke. If you love tuna, choose only light canned tuna, which is less contaminated than albacore, and limit yourself to 1 serving per month. But there are much safer and equally delicious alternatives. We will talk about them in a moment. The second fish to avoid is farmed tilapia. It's everywhere, in every supermarket, on many restaurant menus, advertised as a light and healthy option. And yet, behind this reassuring facade lies a nutritional reality that is concerning for people over 60. The fundamental problem comes from the way this fish is raised. Thousands of tilapia are crammed into overcrowded tanks, swimming in their own waste. To prevent disease in these conditions, producers heavily use antibiotics and pesticides. These residues do not disappear with cooking. They remain in the flesh and enter your body with every meal. For seniors whose immune systems are more fragile, this repeated exposure to antibiotics can contribute to drug resistance, making real treatments less effective when you truly need them. But that's not all. The artificial diet of these fish, based on corn, soy, and cheap byproducts, completely transforms their composition. The result is a disastrous omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, which can reach 11:1, while the ideal ratio for health is close to 2:1. Excess omega-6s directly fuel chronic inflammation in the body, the silent engine behind arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's disease. Studies have shown that farmed tilapia raises inflammatory markers in the blood more than some fast foods. You think you are making a healthy choice, but in reality, you are feeding inflammation in every one of your cells. The third fish to ban is king mackerel. Here, beware of a very common confusion. Not all mackerel are equal. Atlantic mackerel is an excellent fish for health, but king mackerel is a completely different story. It is a large, long-lived predator, and like tuna, it accumulates very high concentrations of mercury. Its contamination levels are among the most alarming of all commonly consumed fish. Health authorities in several countries formally advise against its consumption by elderly people. For seniors over 60, the risks are particularly serious. Mercury directly attacks the central nervous system. With repeated exposure, it can cause tremors, balance problems, difficulty concentrating, and progressive memory loss. These symptoms are often falsely attributed to normal aging. The cardiovascular risk is equally real. Mercury can inflame arteries and increase the risk of stroke, especially in seniors who already manage hypertension. Another practical problem is that in many markets and restaurants, king mackerel is simply labeled mackerel, without any clarification. You may think you are eating good Atlantic mackerel when you are actually consuming one of the most contaminated varieties that exist. Always remember to ask for the exact species. The fourth fish to avoid is imported catfish, particularly fish coming from certain Southeast Asian countries, where farming conditions are very poorly regulated, raised in often polluted waters and force-fed antibiotics and chemicals to survive in those contaminated environments. This fish regularly contains residues of banned substances, heavy metals, and potentially carcinogenic compounds. For a senior whose liver and kidneys are already working at reduced capacity, this accumulation of toxins can have serious long-term consequences. If you like catfish, always check its origin and opt for local producers who are subject to strict regulations. That covers the fish to avoid. Now let us move on to the part I am most excited to share with you: the 4 fish that can transform your health after 60. The first great champion is rainbow trout. This understated fish truly deserves first place in a senior's diet. Its first quality is safety. Raised in clean fresh water under strictly controlled conditions, rainbow trout accumulates very little mercury or contaminants. You can eat it regularly with complete peace of mind, which is not the case for all fish. It provides around 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 per serving, an ideal dosage to protect your arteries and reduce chronic inflammation that is at the root of many daily pains. It is also rich in potassium, a mineral that nearly 70% of seniors over 60 consume in insufficient quantities, and which plays a major role in the natural regulation of blood pressure. It also provides vitamin B12 for the nervous system, phosphorus for bones, and niacin, which helps balance cholesterol by raising the good cholesterol and lowering the bad cholesterol. And in the kitchen, its soft, tender flesh is light, easy to digest, and takes just a few minutes to prepare in the oven, in a pan, or in papillote. Perfect for people whose digestion has become more sensitive with age. The second essential fish is wild Alaskan salmon. Note, I mean wild, not farmed. This distinction is fundamental. Wild salmon swims freely in the cold, pure waters of the Pacific Ocean. Its natural diet gives it an exceptional omega-3 profile that farmed salmon cannot match. University research has shown that elderly people with high levels of DHA, the main omega-3 in salmon, in their blood have larger brains, sharper memories, and a significantly reduced risk of dementia. One serving provides 35 to 40 grams of complete proteins, essential for fighting sarcopenia, the natural age-related muscle loss that weakens balance and increases the risk of falls. Strong muscles mean more independence, fewer fractures, and a better quality of life every day. Wild salmon is also one of the richest sources of astaxanthin, the powerful antioxidant that gives the fish its pink-orange color. Astaxanthin protects your cells against oxidative aging, supports skin elasticity, improves eye health, and strengthens immune defenses. Add to that vitamin D, B12, and selenium, and you have a fish that takes care of almost all your nutritional needs in a single serving. The third fish I recommend is one of the cheapest and most practical that exists: sardines. These small canned fish that many people overlook are among the most complete superfoods for elderly people. What makes sardines so valuable is first and foremost their purity. They sit at the very bottom of the food chain, feeding on plankton rather than other fish. As a result, They accumulate virtually no mercury. You can eat them often without the slightest concern. They are among the most concentrated sources of omega-3 fatty acids in the world. Thanks to their edible bones, they provide naturally occurring calcium that is exceptionally well absorbed by the body, accompanied by vitamin D and phosphorus, a perfect trio for maintaining bone density and preventing fractures. After 60, a hip fracture can be a dramatic turning point. Regularly eating sardines is one of the best dietary protections against this risk. Their richness in vitamin B12 is also a major asset. Vitamin B12 deficiency, very common after 60, causes exactly the symptoms that many seniors attribute to aging, including fatigue, mental fog, and memory problems. Sardines provide this vitamin in a natural, directly assimilable form, and in terms of practicality, it is hard to do better. A can of sardines costs almost nothing, keeps for a long time, and takes seconds to prepare. Enjoy them on whole grain bread with lemon, mixed with avocado, in a salad, or incorporated into pasta with olive oil and garlic. Simple and delicious, and your body will thank you with every bite. The fourth and final fish is a quiet champion that many underestimate: wild Pacific cod, also known as codfish. Caught in the cold waters of Alaska, among the least polluted in the world, cod accumulates very few contaminants and can be eaten regularly without concern. It is a safe choice for people over 60 who want low toxin protein. Its protein profile is remarkable, around 35 to 40 grams of complete protein per serving, with less than 2 grams of fat and fewer than 200 calories. It is the ideal fish to nourish muscles without overloading digestion. Its most overlooked asset is selenium. A single serving of cod covers more than 100% of daily needs for this powerful antioxidant, which protects your cells from oxidative aging and supports cognitive function. Studies have shown that seniors with high selenium levels enjoy better memory and a lower incidence of age-related diseases. Cod also provides iodine to support the thyroid, whose irregularities are very common after 60 and often cause fatigue, weight gain, and lack of concentration. Its soft, light, easy-to-digest flesh is perfectly suited to sensitive stomachs. Baked, en papillote, pan-fried in olive oil, it adapts to all cooking styles and all budgets. There you have it. You now have a clear and complete picture. 4 fish to avoid are high mercury tuna, farmed tilapia, king mackerel, and imported catfish. 4 fish to adopt. Starting today are rainbow trout, wild Alaskan salmon, sardines, and wild Pacific cod. Let me leave you with one essential message. What you put on your plate today determines who you will be in 5 years, in 10 years. Will you remember the names of your grandchildren? Will you climb the stairs without holding the railing? Will you live at home in full independence, with your dignity and your joy of living intact? These choices are made now, not tomorrow. You do not need to change everything at once. Start with just one change this week. Replace canned tuna with sardines. Try a trout fillet for dinner. Every good choice adds up. After a few weeks, you may start to feel the difference. Less stiffness in the morning, a clearer mind, energy you no longer expected. You deserve to age with strength. You deserve health that allows you to fully enjoy the people you love in every morning that comes. If this video brought you something, tell me in the comments. Which fish will you change first? Share this video with someone you love, because the information you just received could change their life. And subscribe so you do not miss any of our upcoming videos. Take care of yourself, eat well, and remember, it is never too late to make the right decisions.